Hey, today's Tuesday, May 6th.
I'm Bruce Turner in Lynchburg, Virginia.
I am Chris Jenkins in Orlando, Florida.
I guess I'm next. I'm George Dasher in somewhere in Florida.
I'm Jeff Zeiss in Napa, California.
And I'm Robert Taylor in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Hey, I'm Duke Carrico on this edition of Tech and Coffee's Android Journal. Your next Chromebook will be more, better, faster. We'll take a look at the top 20 PCs on Amazon. Google Now goes local. This, more, and our apps. Good evening, guys.
Good evening, Mr. Duke.
Chadio. How are you?
Everybody having a good week so far?
Well, today's my day off, and I slept all day. It's an excellent day for me.
I just noticed we've got a sextet tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Well, then let me get my lip gloss.
And on top of that, Dennis DeVoe isn't here, so we can say whatever we want to about
That's
him.
right.
We can make any mention we want about Canada without any repercussions. Or immediate repercussions.
All right, hey guys. Before we get down with the show, I just want to say I'm looking forward to doing a hangout in real life with several of you in 2 weeks. It's going to be a good time for our listeners. Many of the Tech and Coffee crew are going to be gathering together down in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. They're in the Smoky Mountains, and we've rented a cabin, got a pool, several coming. Let's see, we've got them coming from Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky. Did I leave any state out?
Ohio.
I think that's about what we got, yeah.
Okay.
Well, what about, isn't Dennis going from Calgary?
No, Dennis canceled on us when Tanya said she wasn't coming. Dennis said he wasn't coming either.
Yeah. Oh, Ohio. How could we forget?
Oh, absolutely.
Larry.
I remember something I was leaving out. Yeah, Larry Petrie, his family, they're coming down from Ohio. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, gonna be a good time, man. We've got several days planned, and if for any listener out there, hit us up in the community, and yeah, if you're gonna be in the area, would like to meet us, we'd like to meet you. Just hit us up on Google Plus at Tech and Coffee, and we'll kind of let you know where we're gonna be at. What's so funny, Jeff?
I'm just thinking of the giant rave party and Robert Taylor's security deposit.
Yes.
35,000 people descend.
I am slightly worried. That particular card happens to have a whole lot of balance left, so we could be in trouble.
Well, notice I didn't give any addresses out. That's why I said hit us up. Yeah, man.
Hey, guys. Then maybe I can help out.
He even said Gatlinburg, and that ain't even the city.
Yeah. All right. Hey, guys, listen. Intel and Google made some announcements today, and they had everything to do about the coming Chromebooks. Who watched the announcement live besides me?
Couldn't watch it live.
Okay, but you did watch it, Robert?
I did not. I could not watch it live. I saw parts of it.
There was issues with watching it live. Trying to watch it off CNET, it kept like stopping. And so I guess bazillions of people were watching it and overloading the CNET server.
Yeah, it buffered on me a few times. Here's what I came away. Of course, we already knew about two new Chromebooks from Lenovo. One of them, I guess actually both of them being the Yoga design. One of them is a touchscreen. But today, in addition to those, we also learned that Acer, Dell, there's several actually that are coming with new models. These are Chromebooks, Chromebook, and let's see, what was the other one called?
Chromebase.
Yes, a Chromebase. Now, you know what? I'm pretty sure I saw that Chromebase at CES, saw a picture of it. But
You did.
Anyway, I guess the biggest announcement and why Intel was so involved is that several of these new Chromebooks are going to feature the Intel Core i3 and their Bay Trail Atom processors. And of course, you know, this is going to give us longer battery life, but you know, I'm sure in the case of the i3, it's going to give you a pretty good performance boost. And I think what was the most expensive price I saw out of these was, I think, $389 maybe.
Yeah.
That was for the Chrome base, I believe, with the.
So it looks like it's $349, but that's like that's more of a desktop kind of replacement. You know, has that I don't know, like a Mac kind of look to it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? You know, I came away from this thinking, is this suddenly a pretty crowded space?
I don't know if I would say crowded space, but certainly everybody is at least tossing a hat in the ring, if not two or three. We're starting to recognize, you know, the Chrome OS as a viable option for everyday use. It's not just, you know, something techie people have. For everyday use, reasonable price, decent hardware, if not outright exciting hardware. It's not, I wouldn't say crowded. It's a big space to say crowded, but certainly all the major manufacturers and players are stepping up to the plate saying, we have an offering that has a unique feature to it. Even with these announcements, we're still waiting for the ultimate do-all, beat-all, has everything we could possibly want in terms of hardware device to hit the market. You know, some people want backlit keyboards. Some people want, you know, more USB ports or non-proprietary charging, longer battery life. While all of the manufacturers offer some tchotchke part, like the bendable screen, etc., not any of them have hit every single possible configuration.
That's a fair assessment, but it kind of legitimizes the Chrome OS, though, right?
Oh,
I mean,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
There were a couple, three things in the conference. I watched it afterwards on a video, and one of them was I liked hearing them say on it with a Chromebook you can do 90%. Because people have been throwing out different percentages, you know, but they said 90% of what you need to do you can do on a Chromebook. I like the fact that they addressed, you know, they talked about the education. I think a lot of people knew about the educational market, but they began to focus a little bit on the business market as well and talked about some of those companies. I like that slide they threw up because some of those were major companies that were beginning to use Chromebooks or Chrome boxes for some of their business. And then the third thing, and I did find out the term that they use for these new Haswell and Bay Trail processors as being, quote, conflict-free. We've all heard about conflict diamonds, but there are 4 essential elements that are in most of the tech that we carry around, tin, tantalum, tungsten, and gold, and many of these are mined, like in the United Congo, Democratic Republic of the Congo, or whatever they call it, and a lot of child labor. A lot of these mines are controlled by warlords and so forth, and they've been working on this for, I believe they said, like 6 years, trying to find some other partners. But I was kind of encouraged to hear that the Haswell processor and the Bay Trail processors are now the first, quote, conflict-free. The other thing I found really interesting, I thought about, you know, because I had the Samsung Chromebook. I thought that was an interesting demo they did. With the 720, Acer C720 with the Haswell processor versus the Samsung. I did wonder, since that Acer C720 they were using was white, I wonder if it was a 4 gigabyte version, which could have helped that processor speed well. But that was a considerable difference in how those games played and those other things that they demoed it with.
Well, so the Samsung certainly showed its age. I agree with you, Bruce.
Right.
Okay, I'll tell you what, man. I was pretty excited overall. I did get to watch the whole presentation, and yeah, it got me pretty excited. I'm kind of glad now, Bruce, that I didn't take that action to replace my Samsung with that Acer. Did you have any buyer's remorse when you were watching that?
No, I really didn't. I'm not sure that there's enough difference between the i3. You know, they didn't demo that, so I'm very pleased with the battery life. You know, they talked about the Bay Tree or the Bay the Bay Field?
Bay Trail.
Bay Trail. I'm thinking golf, Bay Tree. I want to swing a club. You know, that it would give an extra hour of battery life. But going from 10 to 11 or 11 to 12. I mean, man, I'm so excited about having 10 or 11 hours of battery life on my Chromebook.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm anxious for this summer to come. Sounded like several of them are going to hit, and what kind of got me excited, you know, as a fanboy. They kind of hinted that they'd be back in the fall with some more announcements. So it doesn't sound like they're done yet for 2014. You know.
Hold on, Duke.
Well, you know, you think about this. You know, PCs are down. Intel has to put its chip someplace, right? So, you know, Chromebooks are the natural fit right now.
Well, and you know, Intel has they've owned the PC market. They really have. You know, I mean, AMD have made some inroads, but Intel has owned the market. Hey, real quick, before we move off the Chromebook topic, and Bruce, I found it really interesting that I was looking at this page today. Early this morning, I posted something. I know you reshared it, but they actually talked about this Amazon top 20 page.
Yep.
When they did their reveal for the new PCs. Let me share my screen here real quick. Oops. That would be that one. Yeah. And let's see. I'm going to try to enlarge them. I just really quick here. Let's talk about the top 20 Amazon highest rated PCs. And just let me kind of set this up here really quick, and then I'm going to ask you guys to jump in here. The first two highest rated PCs on Amazon are Acer C720 Chromebooks. Okay? The third one is a Chromebook. The fourth one is an Acer C720P Chromebook. That's the touch. Alright, number 5 is a Chromebook. Number 6 is an HP Chromebook. 7, 8, 9, and 10 are Apple's MacBooks. Okay? 7, 8, 9, and 10. These are the highest rated PCs on Amazon. 11 and 12 are HP Chromebooks. 13 is an HP Chromebook. 14 is a Samsung Galaxy Note 10 One. What's that even doing on this list? Okay? That's an Android tablet. And then 15 is a MacBook. 16 is a Toshiba Chromebook. 17 is a MacBook Pro. 18 is a MacBook Pro. 19 is a Windows laptop. How did Windows get on this top 20 list? And then there's 20, the Apple MacBook Pro. That's the top 20. One Windows machine is the highest rated on Amazon. The rest are Chromebooks or MacBooks. Okay? Hey, who wants to jump in here? Bruce, go ahead, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, this I so appreciate it. I mean, the first thing I do every morning is I'm looking over my stuff, and I go to the bathroom and I take the only seat available and I start checking Duke's post, and so I share his crap every morning. Yeah, not really, but that story, we've talked about this before, some months ago, but it was really great to see. This post again, and I posted it on my Facebook, and I this time I put myself out there. I said, listen, if you haven't thought about Chromebooks before, you need to do that, and if you'd like to know more information, you'd like any help, just direct message me, and I'd be glad to help you. I've had some people direct message me and are reaching out about that, but one of the things I thought was interesting with Mac introducing a lower priced MacBook Air, I think Windows are not the only people that's getting affected by the Chromebook. I think Macs are as well. And even though they came out with I think the new MacBook Air, what is it, $899 or something like that?
Yeah.
But I think they're realizing that they've got to do something as well. So
as we get down to it, you had mentioned something earlier, Bruce. You said 90% of what we do. Think about what 90% of what you really do on your machine, be it a desktop, laptop. And just for clarification, Duke kept saying PCs. These are laptops and supposed to be laptops only, even though that tablet snuck its way in there. But the majority of what we do is online browsing type things. That's the vast majority of what we do. Some, video watching on YouTube, maybe some lightweight documents and spreadsheets that can be easily accomplished. All of those things can happen in a Chromebook without even breaking a sweat or your wallet. And that is why these things are so popular. It's not that they have this unbelievable, outstanding hardware. Yes, it's good, it's nice, but it's not anything super fantastic. The thing that's incredible about it is I can spend $250 and do 90% of what I do for that amount of money. Not $1,000 for the MacBook or even the $899, for the new one you mentioned. So that's why this really actually even isn't news. It's almost like duh. Of course they're the most popular because people are realizing now that we have been sold a bill of goods of buy a new laptop every couple years, upgrade the hardware constantly, new this, new that, new constantly. And we don't have to do that and break the bank. We can do that with very, very inexpensive machines and still do 90% of what we want to do.
Let me clarify you. This is not the most popular. This is the highest rated.
You're right. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Highest rated laptops.
Yeah, and I think that's saying a whole lot. That not only is somebody buying a $200 Chromebook on Amazon, but they think so much of it that they're coming back to Amazon and writing very favorable 5-star reviews.
Right.
I'll tell you what. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, please.
the sixth most top-rated desktop is also an Asus Chromebox. If you click that little link on there for desktops, a Chromebox even made it in the top 10 of desktops.
That's awesome. I mean, if you think about it, guys, to all the consumers that have not, yet ventured into the Chromebook or the Chrome ecosystem here, I guess you could say. Think about it. What's the difference between your $1,000 MacBook, besides like your Mac stuff? You got your Pro apps here, and you got your iCloud stuff here. Well, guess what? Google has that too. The only thing we don't have is going to be like stuff like GarageBand and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, if you're going to be doing high-end audio editing, a $250 laptop's not going to do you justice. That's just the way it works. But if you want something basic for mom, if you want something basic for somebody who is technologically declined, or if you want something just basic for yourself, go grab yourself a Chromebook, go grab yourself a Chromebox, save yourself the hassle of spending your hard-earned money on something that could be upwards of $500 to $1,000, and because using a Chromebook is no different than using any other device because you have to have Wi-Fi anyways. So why not save yourself some money and kind of support the Google ecosystem because Google's awesome.
Fair enough. Anybody want to jump in? Got anything else to say about the Chromebooks?
I'm happy with mine. I've been happy with it since I bought it, and that's pretty much all I needed.
All right. Hey guys, we got a new thing coming in Google. First of all, Google's Now, when you search for something within Google Now, if you get close to it, it's probably going to show up on a Google Now card. And this is not, the best I can tell, there's not any kind of timeline to this. It's just going to happen. You know, if you search on, you know, I'm going to say something that Dick's Sporting Goods might sell. If you find yourself at a strip mall with Dick's Sporting Goods, I'm expecting to get an alert on my phone.
No, wait. If you've been searching for thongs, like I know you have, Duke, a strip mall might have one.
No, I think that he's
I
more
think
the
we're
little
using the wrong term of strip here, but yeah, we'll go with that.
No, you're looking for those little boutique stores, yeah.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, I like to carry on like I wear thongs all the time. So, yeah, Bruce is kind of getting live or getting even with us while we're on there. Is what's going on.
Which could be embarrassing when you show someone your phone and they're look at it. Look, there's Victoria's Secret comes right up on the very first card. You know.
I'll tell you what. Along with Google Now also having the integration for this, I saw something Techno Buffalo and Gadget maybe posted. I'm guilty of this all the time. My dad's watching. He's also guilty of this as well. I'm very guilty of losing my car. Especially if I have to go out somewhere and it's a concert or a football game or anything. Google actually integrated like a feature to where if you turn your mobile data on as well as your location services, it'll actually detect when your velocity stops and it'll take you to that last location, which is pretty cool. You know, because if you're out one night in a drunken stupor or any other type of stupor, you know, you can be like, oh, where's my card? Oh, let me pull up my Google Now. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay. And it'll actually automatically bring up walking directions for it as well. So Google Now is getting very, very, very powerful on a number of fronts.
Chris,
Dude,
were you talking about a Chris Jenkins stupor?
Yes, that one. Yes.
But you know, the one feature I love with Google Now is when I look up an address for a kind of on my browser, you know, at home, and then I go and look on my phone, it's in the Google Now, and I just click on that address and go navigate. Boom, it's right there. I don't even have to search for or put it in on my phone to where I want to go. It's right on my phone. I click navigate, and boom, it just starts. It's great. That's one of the greatest features there. So simple.
Google Now has gotten to be, I think, better than Siri, to be honest with you. It started out after Siri, but Google has put a lot of effort into Google Now on a bunch of fronts. Not only like the tracking information, because actually when I got my email for my Nexus 5 that came through, it was on my Google Now in no time. It was just like I opened my email, there it was, and there was my Google Now. You know, there was my tracking information. But I mean, there's a number of things that Google has added to Google Now that is just, it makes everything so easy. It's just, you know, you press more and you have a big list of things like this that's, you know, you can choose from, which is awesome because it makes everything easy to you know, kind of acquire all in one little area.
Is it really awesome though? Because while I do like some of the features of Google Now, the privacy advocate of me jumps up. And it jumps up now more and more frequently with Google, and I will relay a short story that happened to me this afternoon. I got a phone call from Google today, okay? They were calling about my Google AdWords account. For our websites, we run several Google AdWords campaigns, and the salesman was, of course, wanting me to reactivate some of my AdWords campaigns and wanted to talk to me about some of the new features that were available for Google advertisers. And I know in the back of your mind, it's like, well, what does that have to do with Google Now? Is my response to him was, I'm sorry, I'm actually preparing for a trip right now. I don't have time to talk about this. I'll talk about it with you guys at the end of the month when I return. He's like, oh, okay, no problem. Well, I'll put it in my calendar to make sure that we contact you at the end of the month. If you don't mind my asking, where are you going? My response was, and I quote, none of your business. I'll speak with you when I get home. And I hung up the phone. Now, honestly, I understand he's doing the salesman thing, trying to create a personal relationship, but immediately alarm bells went off in my head that said, you're Google, you don't need to know everything, this conversation is over. I kind of worry when I start hearing about Google now getting more intelligent, knowing where my car is, knowing where I am, knowing where I'm shopping extensively enough to be obtrusive and say, hey, Jeff, you're walking by a thong shop. Do you want to stop because they have a sale going on?
Because you searched for them on Amazon 3 months ago.
Yeah. Well, I knew your birthday was coming up, and I had to get you a gift.
I mean, again,
Trying to fight the bile.
there is some things about Google now that while this stuff does look good on the surface, it makes me wonder on the back end, how much more information are we going to let Google have in the hopes of saying, oh, wow, that's neat, as opposed to giving them the opportunity to be intrusive.
Okay.
That's the only way I can put it.
Here's my take on that. Google's already got that information on me now. Okay? They've already got it. Now they're just providing a way to make that information useful to me. I searched on this months and months ago. Now I'm at a place that sells this thing that I've searched upon locally. This is valuable information to me. They've already got the information. It's not like this is something new that they've just started. But what's news about it is now through Google now, they're going to let me know, hey, if you're interested, you're right here at a place on something that you searched at.
All right, let me change that. What you're saying is because you're a Republican, it's all right for me to call you all the time and tell you about Republican agenda. That's what you're saying. It's the same thing with Google. If I know that because you've searched on something, am I given the automatic invitation to go back and say every time you walk past the store, it's all right to show me an advertisement card?
But this is what happens. This is what happens all the time. It doesn't make a difference if it's Google or whatever site you're on. I actually filled out a petition, online petition. It was based on MoveOn.org. It was on their website. It's free. So they had this thing, and now I'm getting all these emails from MoveOn.org. I don't care about it. I put them in my spam folder now. But the thing is, once you release that information, it's released. That's it. It's gone.
Right. So should we not be saying to Google, hey, look?
But no, it wouldn't be more putting your phone saying, I don't want to share my location. Don't share my location. But then you run into the risk of when you have that big car accident and you want that ambulance to come to you, well, you want something to take place, you're going to have to. There's always a good and bad on it.
That's when you want OnStar to know everything about you, Jeff.
Yeah.
The thing is for me is I've been using the internet for about 15 years now. I'm only 25. That tells you how long I've been using the internet. I've already come to terms that my information is owned by every big company out there. Facebook has my information. Google definitely has my information. I've been using the Nexus devices since a long time ago, 4 years, I guess
1959.
No, but I've come to terms that what, they're going to get it one way or another, whether it's going to be through my credit card transactions, whether it's through whatever it is. So I've just come to terms that, hey, if Google can go ahead and make my life easier by providing me information that is clear and concise and typically chronological order, might as well.
Policies will change. Right now, I can see like a lot of people kind of trust Google as opposed to other companies. Other companies will just sell you right and left, where Google will kind of do it internally. They kind of point ads in your direction, in your Gmail or whatever your Google searches. Where other companies will just sell you down the river like Faceplace or something like that. But But I mean, policies could change. So I mean, Robert's kind of right there. I mean, right now a lot of people kind of go, we kind of trust Google. They're trying to be good to us, but you never know. 5 years from now, we could all despise and hate Google like some other companies.
And again, there's a distinct difference between I'm on a Google property and they're showing me ads about what my email or what I searched for versus feeding that information into my phone automatically and making it alert me and telling me.
But
Hey,
you have to go. But you have to go to Google Now to see it. Take the Google Now widget off your phone.
Has
don't
anyone
wanna see
here
it.
seen the interns? I really
kinda
imagining Vince Vaughn calling him up. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think speaking of that, Diane Cobb says, "Where's the app from the movie that doesn't allow you to send a text to someone when you're drunk?" That's actually from the interns.
Yeah.
Very handy app. And let me grab them. I've kind of ignored these because I thought we were having some pretty good conversation here. Paul Terry Walhus says, "What do you guys think of the elephant in the room?" Well, I don't know, Jeff. I kind of like Jeff, to be honest with you. I am, of course, referring to Google's deprecation of Google Voice. Will it get better or worse? Okay. Real quick, I'm going to offer my opinion. I'll let somebody else jump in. Google Voice works pretty daggone good for me. I've heard a lot of people complain about it, especially people who are using Google apps. A lot of frustration with Google Voice. But for me, yeah, man, no problem. I kind of like it. Anybody else want to weigh in on Google Voice?
I think it works great. What worries me is that there's not any more news about it, and the day is coming. We're literally less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I've used Google Voice since beta, so I love it. Like I love Google Voice, and I think that it would be a smart move for them to put it into Hangouts because unfortunately Google has kind of made that the black sheep of the apps family. Unfortunately, it's a great service. It's just it takes a lot to upkeep, and no big business wants to lose money on a service, And unfortunately, I think that Google Voice is one of those ones that kind of is one of those things for Google. I would like to see it integrated into Hangouts though fully, so that way I can get my Google Voice number directly integrated into Hangouts. But yeah, I mean, I love Google Voice, and I hope that it continues to march on from here.
Okay, real quick, Paul Terry Wallace, why Google would drop the XMPP protocol that has been in place for those who have used the OBI device or a similar device is baffling. Google Voice and OBI communication is a means to many of not having to be on their computer to make and receive calls via the internet. Yeah, and I don't know why they're doing that. I know what you're talking about, Paul, and I don't know if they're wanting to go more proprietary or less. I do believe it's going to be pulled into the Hangout app, and at this point, I personally don't have a problem with that. But I use Google Voice as my main, the number as my main phone number. I've got it forwarded from every other phone that I've got, so I do like it. And finally, from Diane Cobb, I do not allow location to be enabled. I take a pic of where my car is and the road. Ta-da! I know my ABCs and 1, 2, 3s to find my car, Diane. I do something very, very similar when I go to the Walmart.
So you don't pull a Chris, is what you're saying.
Even when I'm at Walmart, like there could be nobody in the parking lot, and I'm like, did I come out the right exit?
You're doing it wrong if you're going to Walmart to get drunk. That's all I got to say.
Exactly. He's drinking in the aisles,
Yeah.
I walked into Walmart the other day, and I was wondering why they escorted me out.
Yeah.
When I go to the Roanoke Airport and I have to park way out, and I'm walking toward the terminal, I look back and I see I'm on row 8, and then at least half a dozen times between there and the terminal, I say to myself out loud, row 8, row 8, row 8, and every time I say it, it kind of further puts it into the recesses of my mind, and when I get home a week later, row 8, I know where I'm at.
Yeah,
I don't know.
y'all need to utilize Google Now. Open
Google
up
now, Google
Okay,
Keep,
Google.
Yeah.
Keep. You know, come on.
The other thing about voice is they're trying to, they had to change their standards to get SMS and Hangouts to work together. The next step that we can't wait for is a full implementation of WebRTC and HTML5, where we don't have to have this hoggy Google Talk plugin, and everything can work, better then. That's going to be a happy day when it comes. And when it comes, Google will be the first on the block to have it fully implemented well, and it's going to be, as our Australian friends would say, killer.
It's going to be awesome. I definitely agree with you on that, Bruce, for sure, because Google Voice plugin is clunky, and the last thing I need is another browser extension for Chrome.
You guys are all forgetting something too. Google has another product called Keep that's really good for taking a quick note. So you can say row 8, and you can say it into it or write it or do whatever, and then look at it later.
Row 8.
Probably forget what that note for because it's in a sea of notes, but
I don't know. MCO down here, Orlando International, it's got like 6 different parking lots. So if you take a picture of row 8, good luck trying to find row 8 and which parking lot you're in.
It's probably based on the color, though, right?
Yeah, it's color. Yeah.
It's Mickey, row 8, left side.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris, man, just stop drinking. Stop drinking.
It's yellow section, number 3 parking lot, row 817.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey guys, who uses SoundHound? Anybody on the panel?
I have not used it ever since Google Now integrated the sound storage.
Okay. Tech and Coffee regular Luke Store was using it, and he basically he got one of these advertisements that said that his Android phone may have 13 viruses on it, and to follow the instructions to remove the virus. Of course, this is malware. It's a malware that was built into SoundHound's advertising. Luke posted this to Google Plus, and basically what he posted was not very nice to SoundHound. But what's most interesting here is SoundHound replied to him fairly quickly. In fact, let's see, he posted this yesterday at 6:48 p.m. Eastern Time, and at 7:10 SoundHound wrote him back basically saying, we're very sorry about this. We were notified early this morning of an advertisement that was causing this issue, and it has been removed from our system. If you still see any malware pop-ups, feel free to reach us directly at an email address. Hey, panel, is this good business?
I think that's really good business. I remember, and I have it up on my screen here, so while I'm talking, but the people on the audio section won't be able to see this. But yeah, I kind of responded to him and was like, oh man. But on the screen you can see what looks like an actual Google pop-up, but I think it's something related to an advert they had with Inside SoundHound or something. It comes up and, hey, look, you got viruses, click here. And yeah, they came back and pretty fast and responded to him. So I think it's good. I think they came back and they said, hey, look, we know there's an issue here. We fixed it. Let us know what's going on. And he went back. Luke is pretty cool at this. He went back and kind of retracted most of his statement, and he was like, oh, cool. He didn't. I think like most of us, when we actually plus somebody in Google Plus, like a company, or every once in a while, like I see a Kevin Spacey post and I'll plus him in it or something like that. I don't expect them to respond back or anything. But yeah, so that was kind of cool that they came back within a half hour even and responded and said, hey, look, we know there's an issue. We've fixed
Robert, do you expect this kind of brand social media on Google Plus?
Without a doubt. Unfortunately, it's not been my experience in dealing with some of the other major players, specifically Amazon, for example. It would almost seem as if they could care less if you relate a problem. But obviously, SoundHound was on top of this right away. It does make me wonder what vetting process their advertisers have to go to advertise on them. But the bottom line is that once they recognized the issue or were made aware of it, within 20 minutes, they immediately jumped in and said, we're sorry this happened, we're taking steps to take care of it and remove it immediately. That shows true care about their consumers of their product. So you expect, we're in a day and age where we expect people to respond back right away. And companies and brands are no exception, especially when there's something that could be as devastating as something like this.
Bruce, I know you've used social media to gain attention a lot of times through insurance companies, so forth, etc. Do you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah, well, this is my first experience of seeing such a quick response on Google+. I think responsible brands are monitoring the big four, let's say, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. I think they're wise to do that. There are companies out there where you can pay a monthly fee to get a service to be able to check anything and everything that's been said anywhere about your brand. And I'm encouraged that it happened so quick on Google+. I've seen it happen quick on Twitter and Facebook, but this is my first experience with Google+. Good job, SoundHound.
All right. Anybody else want to weigh in on it, man?
I'm actually shocked, to tell you the truth, that they're following up on Google+. That they have a presence that's quick enough to generate that quick response. They must have like Bruce said, subscribe to a service that.
Well, it is a service. It's a ghost service. It's kind of like a Ghost Rider. I mean, Google Plus is a ghost town, so they use a ghost service.
Exactly, Ghost Riders.
I'll tell you, I want to play off Bruce and Jeff both with this, saying that I hope this means that we can get some more activity on G+, because G+ is the best social networking tool options available. Obviously, Facebook still has a bulk of all of our friends, but it's always good to make new friends. So
I think
even if they are ghostly.
I mean, I might as well. I mean, I'm not going to cancel out my Facebook because there's so many people won't migrate over, but it's I log in maybe once every 2 weeks now, but it's more like Google Plus, and it's something I check daily, and I check Twitter maybe once every 2 days.
Yeah, like I say, I was pretty impressed when I did see the post. Way to go, SoundHound! Hey, listen, if you need a SoundHound service there, go check them out, because they're definitely serious about their brand and about their product. So, hey guys, listen, we are Tech and Coffee. We are a Google Plus hangout. We hang out daily, and throughout the last few years, since December of 2011, we've all become friends. We love to get together and talk tech, and we like each other so well that we try to get together ever so often. And I mentioned at the top of the show how we were the ones who were going to gather up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and hang out for a few days. If you're that way, please come and see us. Also, you can listen to our podcast on Stitcher Radio and iTunes. Search for us on Google Plus by search on Tech and Coffee. Look for that TNC logo. Questions, comments, and snide remarks, send them to aj@techandcoffee.info. Diane Cobb says Twitter is the only place who showed retweet for the share. And also Randy Hunt says, I have never had a video chat with any of my friends on Facebook, but G+, I have all the time. Exactly, Randy. I know exactly where you're coming from. I've tried to get some of my G+ friends to hang out, and I'll get, like 5 or 6 in a room. Oh, this is cool. This is just fantastic. And then they say goodbye, and I never see them again. So go figure, man.
Well, you want to know something really cool, Duke, though? I mean, fine, you have friends and stuff that you've known and you follow them back on Facebook or Google Plus or whatever. But everyone in this room, we didn't know each other personally up until Google Plus, to be honest with you. So Google Plus created friends.
In fact, George, you were not in Florida when I first came in. You were actually in North Carolina, right? So you were the first person I met on G+, really.
Yes.
Now we know too much about each other.
Hey, Randy, we are doing the hurl in, let's see, May the 18th is when it starts on a Sunday, that week.
Yep, we
May
do.
the 18th.
May 18th through May 21st, we'll be spending several days together doing activities in and around Pigeon Forge. Would love to have some of our viewers and listeners join us if they're in the area.
I think what we should do is post as Tech and Coffee, like specific, like if we're in a spot somewhere in town or you know what I'm saying, we're in a coffee shop for breakfast or something.
Sure.
Say we're there that way.
We'll let Robert we'll let Robert post his location.
There we go. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Everybody follow
So I
Robert.
can see all.
Track him, track his movements,
Make
everything.
sure to turn your location services off, Roberts.
Yes.
Just in case.
Do that right now.
Let's hit our apps, man. And Bruce, we'll start with you if that's all right, man.
Absolutely. Mine won't take very long. It's a very simple thing to do. I will show you the screen. Actually, let me go back to, I had this all set up. But anyway, it's called Hands-Free Texting, and so it's a very simple app. Now let me go ahead and come back to my screen, because there's nothing really fancy about this UI. When you tap on Hands-Free Texting, and there's a light version as well, you get these options. And if you click that Read Text, when somebody sends you a text, it actually reads it out loud. So where this really comes in handy, I'll be getting back from Oklahoma, and I'll be making the 3-hour drive to Pigeon Forge. And, my wife, we're big texters, and she communicates by text. And when I'm driving down the highway, I don't want to have to keep reaching up and opening up the Hangout and tapping on there and then leaning forward to try to see it or try to change my brightness in order to see it. This thing will read your text to you right out loud. So it's really nice. So you ought to check it out. Hands-free texting. And now if you're going to search for it, you need to search for HFT, because there are a number of other apps, but HFT is the one that you want. And then, of course, if you don't want to use it, you can say cancel at any time, or you can just bring down your slider and you can tap right here, HFT, and it'll disable it, and you won't have to see it again. So, hands-free texting. I think you'll like it.
So does it automatically read it as the text come in, or do you have to click on it?
No, it reads it automatically as it's received.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris, you're up, man.
Okay, cool. Give me just a second to get
All
my
right,
error
forget
drill.
you. George, go ahead.
Jeez.
First
Wow.
round.
Gee. Okay, I'm ready now. I'm good.
I'm ready now, Dad. Put me in the game, Coach.
All right, so guys, I am very excited to announce that I got my Nexus 5 last week. It was very quick, actually. On the sites it says may leave everything in 3 to 5 business days, or may leave the place in 3 to 5 business days. I actually ordered it on 7 o'clock at 7 o'clock on like a Tuesday, and I got it at around 12 p.m. the next day, which is amazing. So let's go through here. I'm going to do the new Snapchats. This is me. Take a selfie. I'm gonna send it to somebody here. Let's do this. Okay, perfect. So now Snapchat actually has, not only does it have a Snapchat, basic interface here, but they've also integrated one second, sorry. I'm still kind of used to this. Here we go. So I can actually go back here and have a chat-based service here as well. So this is the new Snapchat. It has text-based built into it. What I don't like about this is this button over here is actually the camera. It's not the send button, which is not fun. I like for my send button to be down here. Instead, it's down here. So down here on the bottom right, do you see that little envelope with the up arrow?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the send button, which is very precarious in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, Snapchat actually got a huge overhaul. I was like, wow, when I woke up one day and I saw this. But yeah, Snapchat's definitely trying to compete here with all our lovely WhatsApp and Viber and all this other stuff, and they have their nice photo service enabled as well. So Snapchats, if you're not familiar with the service, what it is it allows you to basically take a photo and set the amount of seconds that it's available for. So I'll take a Snapchat here, and if you notice down here on the bottom left, there's a little timer type thing. You click on this, you can change the amount of seconds that it's good for. So you can change it anywhere from 1 second to 10 seconds. And what that does is, it allows the person on the receiving end to only have that available for 1 second or 10 seconds.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, Chris, that's why I'm not using Snapchat.
Yeah.
Because, my thong photos should last, a lifetime, not 10 seconds, okay?
Well, they do burn into your brain, so.
That's true, yeah, but some people like to take precarious pictures that none of us may agree with. Not saying that person is me, but there are people out there that I know personally that do that. But no, Snapchat's gotten a huge overhaul. If you guys were kind of disappointed with Snapchat and the way it worked, take a look now, because it's got that built-in chat service, which is nice. So Snapchat, everybody.
Oh, very good. Hey, real quick here, Randy Hunt. Just got to say, man, go Big Orange. And also, Diane Cobb says, Randy just likes the ladies. Love you, Randy. And she also says, I think she posted this while Bruce was showing his app, said that's a cool app. And finally, right here, guys, listen, if you were on the fence about going to the Hurl, just know right now, Tanya Bolus is not going, so that might help you decide to come on down to Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, because Tanya Bolus is not coming. So it's
wait, my
All I
inbox
gotta say is,
going
oh snap!
crazy. I'm getting all kinds of requests of where we're going to be since Tanya's not.
Oh, wait. Beyonce has just confirmed she is coming today.
I just heard from the folks at Duck Dynasty that they're now available to come too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Something Aaron Care going? Yeah.
Wait, Kevin just messaged me. He's going.
You're not going to believe this. Michael Jackson has just dug himself up from the grave, saying he will be there.
Oh my God, I'm dying over here.
All right, hey, George, you got an app for us, man?
I have nothing for you today.
That's fine. Jeff, what do you got for us?
All right, so let's see what I got here. I have something called MyTrex, which I reviewed before, but they had a nice little update to it, which I just kind of stumbled upon. So before this little what MyTrex does is uses your GPS to kind of figure out if you're walking or hiking or biking or driving. It tracks the time, distance, calories, things like that. It also will check the elevation that you climbed. It has a map of where you went. But now, this little play button at the top, it's integrated with Google Earth. So it must save it as a KLM file. I think that's what Google Earth does. Oh, Google Earth has just stopped. Let's try that again.
Snap.
Oh, snap. Let's see if it works now.
I think this rating just went down.
And for you guys on audio, he's launching the app that shows that it's coming up and showing.
Yeah. So now it's showing exactly, and it'll play and show you on Google Earth the hike, where I went, and I can just skip ahead and show you the trail if I wanted to.
You walk through somebody's house there.
I walked through someone's house. So here I am on the trail in the park that I went to, and I think it's a really neat little thing that kind of shows you which way you went, and it tracks the whole thing, and it's nice for kind of reviewing.
About where you buried the bodies, right?
I buried the body right about there, and then I think I came to a Y in the road and it looked like a thong, so I turned around. So.
And it's actually, there's an arrow tracing his path of what he's done.
But no, I think it's very, very cool.
It is.
That's pretty awesome, actually. I agree.
Yeah. So if you ever take a hike and you go, hey, I wish I could show you the way I went, boom, this will mimic it and then show everyone how to do the same trail if you thought it was very cool in the state park or whatever. So I think if you save it to Google Drive, you can share it with somebody and then they can click on it and it'll fire up Google Earth and show them the same route that maybe someone else would like to hike.
Now,
great little app.
It's free.
MyTrek, it's free on
It's
Google
made
Play.
by Google. This is a Google app, correct?
This is a Google app. Yep.
And Jeff, I've used it. I hadn't used it lately, but I have used it to record some of my bicycle rides and also some of my motorcycle rides. And other than the fact that because it's using a GPS, it's using my battery, I will agree
Right.
it's a great app. And if you want to keep some sort of like a historical record of some of the, especially if you like do the same loop all the time, it's
Right.
really a great way to measure yourself,
Yeah, but now you could take that file and then you could play a little movie of how your trek was around, the Smoky Mountains wherever you went again, and I think that's kind of interesting. So
now does that work also with biking as well?
yeah, of course.
Nice.
All right, very good app. Robert, what do you got for us, man?
I'm going to take a pass for this evening. No app tonight.
I've heard of that app.
Well, I guess it's down to me. The app that I'm going to feature tonight, guys, is the Tanya's Not Coming to the Hurl app, and
I've heard of that one too.
actually it's got 5 million 5 stars right now, and they're going up. So it's a very popular app. You guys, now I'll tell you what, real quick, my app. Sometime back, I discovered an app or a website called FastTech. FastTech is a Chinese. It's basically an electronics store. It's got a very good reputation, and they've got an app. If you buy stuff from them, it's a very cool little track and support service. It shows you new arrivals in their store. They've got tablets. They've got phones. They've got a lot of e-cigarette supplies, lots of Android products. They've got a lot of, you can see, I don't know how well you can see my screen, but they've got several of the Android sticks, and a lot of times their prices are 1/3 of what you will find on eBay. So yeah, they've actually got a couple of apps. If you're if you don't mind giving the Chinese your business, this is a great little app to have on your phone. Yeah, man. So, hey, guys, once again, we are Tech and Coffee. Come to wander on over to techandcoffee.info. Look for the join the Hangout link. Click on the main Hangout. We're there most weekdays, a lot of times on weekends. We love to talk tech, and we would love to meet you. You guys have a great rest of the week. We will catch you in 7. Peace out, guys.